With the COVID virus and being quarantined, trapped in our houses for what feels like an extended period of time, the change in the weather, sunshine, fresh air, summertime arriving is an opportunity for us to rebuild our emotional, physical, and spiritual selves by getting outdoors. We all know how good it feels to be outside, but I thought today we'd talk a little bit more about something called vitamin G. If you haven't heard about vitamin G, it's what scientists refer to as that time when we spend outside engaging in cardiovascular exercise or activities, and the health benefits that are far-reaching when we're outdoors as opposed to indoors. We all know that daily exercise is good for us. So what does it matter where we exercise? Well, it turns out it does matter. In fact, science is very clear that the air indoors is 2 times more polluted than the air outdoors. And we know that when we are indoors, we're more likely to be prone to distractions, laundry, phones, etc. And the other added benefit to being outdoors is we are free of most distractions. It's a time for us to feel more peaceful, restful, relaxed, spiritually fortified, if you will. But there's specific science about cardiovascular exercising in green space and the health benefits that are magnified as compared to exercising indoors. So let's get into some of those. Vitamin G, or exercising in green space, increases our endurance. Scientists have clearly shown that when we exercise in green space, our ability for oxygen consumption and oxygen saturation is much better in outdoor space as opposed to when we are exercising or doing cardiovascular workouts indoors. The second is better stress management. A Japanese study reported that the saliva of people who were exercising, they actually looked at the saliva of people exercising in green space, had lower levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, in comparison to groups who were exercising indoors. And for those of us who say it's not practical for me to drag my treadmill outside and exercise, the study also showed that you can change your stress levels as measured through your EEG and EMG readings if you move your exercise equipment closer to a window, or you bring elements of the outdoors through plant materials inside to your exercise and workout space. Another added benefit is improved overall mental health. There's been a number of studies both in Scandinavia and here in the United States that's demonstrated that people who exercise or spend more time doing cardiovascular activities outdoors in green space, walking, gardening, running, have a better overall improved mental state. Now, exercise in general, we know, can elevate the mood, reduce depression, give us an overall sense of well-being, but those benefits are doubled when we do that in open green space. And as if all of that wasn't enough, the other added advantage to spending time outdoors, engaging in activities, is cognitive enhancement. Research has shown that the more time we spend outdoors, our cognitive abilities go up, motor skills and clarity are improved, attention deficit in children is reduced, because the inhibitory centers of our brain that have to block out all the distractions that we're bombarded with all day long are reduced when we're out in a peaceful space like being outdoors. So how can we add more vitamin G into our lives? Well, those of us here who live in the Northeast Ohio, we know that our time in the sun is often pretty short. But now that we're coming into the summer season, it's important to prescribe for yourself some specific time outdoors. Getting away from the computer, getting away from the virtual work that you're doing right now perhaps, and forcing yourself to engage in at least 5 to 10 minutes of activities on a regular basis outside. And for those of us who are working virtually, working indoors, it is all the more important that we are mindful to making time to get outside, whether it means taking your workload outside and getting some fresh air, making sure that you're taking time for walks, for gardening, for activities, is particularly now since we've been working in such close quarters indoors virtually under high levels of stress with this pandemic. The second thing is, if you are an employer or a supervisor, is to prescribe that outdoor time for your staff. Research is very, very clear that people who take a break from work, a break from computer time, and who get outdoors, whether it be for their lunch, for afternoon walks, for a break in the morning, are much more productive, have better clarity, are more creative, and more innovative. So think about that if you are a leader of an organization, and make sure that you're prescribing some vitamin G for your staff. And another way to bring some vitamin G into our lives is to pay close attention to gardens or walking paths. Whether you work in an environment that has paths or areas for you to walk at your lunch hour, or creating a space, a little oasis away from the indoors in your own home environment. Plant materials, patios, places where you are surrounded by plants, and access to the outdoors is also really important. And if you can't get outside as much as you would like, pay close attention to the design of your home, the design of your workspace, making sure that the places that you are spending the bulk of your day are either near a window or you've got some plant materials surrounding you. Think green and stay healthy. We'll see you in the next one.